Yo, what's up boys, this video will be great for you guys if you want to call for more duo events and start throwing your quals in the first place. This video is going to be on a new series on my channel called On The Edge, in which I VOD review a player who came one spot off qual in any tournament, and I'll see what they do wrong and how they didn't qual. And today's video will be on round 2 of the placement cup. Okay, enjoy. Okay, so placement cup and round 2. 201st. Okay, these people are the people that came one spot off. Bear and Rise. I watched a couple games before to see what I should watch, and first one I want to watch is the first game. So they land Sleepy, obviously. Pretty good speed looting. They just mainly focus on getting max middle and good loot, and they can get the rest anywhere else. I would probably go like around here, like curve all the way around, come up over here, but they do go up and use the like big balloon blimp thingy, which is like ends up being really good for them because then they get rotation. But I was thinking it just could be dodgy going up there, because like realistically there should be someone up there, right, taking the god spot. But yeah, luckily there's no one up there and they get this really good spot. And they just fly up here and just sit here, rack up their surge until zone pops, and then they have the best rotation in zone pools, and they can't sit up on the balloon and stay, so they have to go. And this is where the positioning might matter a lot in the future, because if they go like here, this island is what a lot of people might do, which it's a bit dodgy, because if you go here and zones start pulling back to the left, you're gonna have to cross a lot of open area while getting howled, which is a bit dodgy, because the area, I mean the people holding you is congested side, which you know is gonna be the majority of people. But if you were to position on the left side instead, if you have to rotate that way, there's not so many people there, so it's gonna be easy. And if the other option is if you pull zone, and that's obviously good, so it's a lot more safer to stay on this like half here than go here ish. But obviously going over here is fine, because if it pulls back down there, there's a lot of cover and stuff. But obviously if you have the balloon here, you could pick any position. I'm going somewhere in here. I'd say either here or up here. And I'm pretty sure they choose the big statue, the best spot they could have picked, to be honest. Good for surge as well. And then lucky for the people on this island, it pulls. And I really like how they go like really quickly, because it gives the people on this island less time to set up and look. But you also have to, like, before you go, just look and make sure no one is already like holding people, so they're like ready to shoot you out the sky. And then yeah, but going early here is a really good decision, because if they went any later, they'll give a bunch of people time to get on the island, set up and look back. And then here, it's a little, but instead of going down there, I'm probably going around this reboot, watching the heights out there, and then getting here and probably pausing on top of here. Oh, he actually does end up going back up, but obviously they wasted mats down there. When it comes to half-half, I don't like how they're looking at this stuff instead of the rotate. Like, they do get the kill. Like, one person could have looked, and the other person needs to be looking at that rotate. Because if it's that close and it's half-half, there could be a really free rotate right now if you go early that you won't get later. Like, if he was looking now, they could just go right now and get there before everyone else, really easy. And what I probably would have done here is just sprint over, get up here, ramp up, and go like up here. So yeah, they do leave it a bit late, but it doesn't matter for them. And here, I assume, what I assume is happening is they're trying to avoid the bush, because that's a really suspicious bush, but there is no one on it. So they probably were going to go there, but they decided to go over here. Really awkward. What I would have done is, like I said before, go here. You could have blobbed to here, and then got out of the blob like behind here safely, and then came up here and then ramped up, got on a safe spot. That's the safest thing to do. But if I saw that bush, I probably would have just hooked it down here, But yeah, now it comes to first moving. They're not even in a bad position. Like 100 builds each, good heals, rotation. Like they aren't in a bad spot to do good. So they're gonna blob. Okay, what I would do for this rotate is I'd probably avoid going. I'd either avoid going in the water and go up here, and then go up there, or I'll just blob and go here. See these builds, and you could get out early so you avoid all the people at front that are getting out and shooting you blobbing. And I'd ramp up here, get high up, like at least up here. But what, they do go this way, which is kind of fine. But if you see these people blobbing and they like obviously going to front side, I'd probably say it'd be really smart to just get out early. Like if they're going up here, all the way here, you probably want to get out like here. Or like at least at this point get out now, like 3 boxes behind them. He just gets way too close. And yeah, now they're like in this really awkward position where they're on the low ground with a bunch of other teams, and he isn't even like set up in his own box, or he wasn't. And now he's going to be backside on low ground on first moving, which is just going to be terrible for them. The thing they should be doing is being like at least this layer or a layer up, like right now, front side chilling here. Unlike the first couple moving zones, you should majority of the time be high up, obviously. And now they are being really unaware of this team on the left, but this is another consequence of them being like low ground, is there's a lot more teams down here. And the thing is, if you're low ground and there's a team fighting you and you want to escape, you can't go down a layer because you're low ground, and going up layer is really like hard because it's going to be way congested. But imagine you're like this guy here, this layer, or these people over here. If they get fought, they can go down, they can go up, they can go to the sides. Like they're so much more free than you. Mate, he gets caught up here because of all that. And then yeah, they just needed to, like, it's really simple. They just needed to get out early and guarantee a higher position in first and second, so they don't get caught up and mucked up with everyone. Like they might be getting too greedy to get frontside even more, that they sacrifice like the guarantee for a good position higher up. Okay, now we're gonna watch the 6th game because I saw something before in this endgame that I want to show. Starting from endgame, on the first moving, I don't like how late they left us. Like I know the zone's going diagonal, so they're trying to look to get through the building, but that is always going to be very dodgy because you have no idea what's going on in there. To the most, I probably would have gone here, and they went in here, probably would have kept breaking here. Maybe seeing that's good, but ultimately you usually just want to stay out of the building if there's like a bunch of enemy builds and stuff there and you have no idea what's going on, because you like I said, you have no idea what's going on. Like you have no idea where people are hiding, like anything. It's just very dodgy. I probably just would have gone this way, up a few layers, get up here. And I think the perfect timing here would have been like 1 or 2 seconds left to zone while they're holding this wall here, and then as soon as like 1 or 2 seconds left, edit and just sprint up here and then get up players. But yeah, this side on the zone is pretty nice, and I like how he's going up a lot. That's good. And this zone is where it goes wrong. So it pulls diagonally over a bunch of the old builds, because what's gonna happen in this situation is everyone rotated this way, right? And then so they kind of stopped mostly here, and then there's a bunch of old builds there, like a bunch, because it's first moving, and it's like how many, 31 people, and they all spam build there, right? And if you need to go diagonally that way, you're gonna run into so many builds, especially because the zone goes up. So you need to think about that and be like, okay, this is gonna be rough. We need to avoid this in some certain way, and I'll show you. I think got multiple ways to do that. What they do is they kind of just run straight diagonally at it. They just go here and then run straight at it and to this and try to go up here, which is obviously going to be really bad because everyone down here is going to all pack up on low ground and then sandwich up into this one low ground eventually up here. There's also a bunch of old builds which will slow you down a lot. So what I would do is be like, okay, it's going here, maybe go as far as this, but then if you edit this and you see that land's going up, you want to, that should like immediately like give you a feeling of, oh, we do not want to do that. We should like backtrack a bit so you can like get a clearing and then ramp up and get over the hill. A lot of the time you can do that, like you can get above the what do you call it? Bruh. Yeah, so a lot of the times you can get over the elevation by backtracking, so you can find a clearing like this and then going up. Because if you keep going forward, you get to a point where there is no clearing up. You have to go through a bunch of old builds, and then people will keep going above you and above you, and they stack up on you, and then it just keeps getting harder and harder to get up. But if you backtrack, all these people are being pushed to the front of the zone by themselves because they're rotating there. And if you backtrack, you get away from everybody and you get away from all the builds above you, and then boom, look how easy it is to get up there. And you can get up and clear that, and while everybody else below you struggles. But yeah, I'll just show you what they do and how it ends up killing them. So they get to this point, and then all these people, as you see, came up from the bottom, and now they're all clogging up in a big mess on the low ground. All these people being forced up because they didn't clear the elevation early, and now they're all fighting and they die because of it. I'm honestly surprised they stayed alive here, but that's probably because they had a lot of chug splashes. Now they're in a pretty decent spot, to be honest. At this time in the game, with like 120 minutes combined, pretty good. But yeah, he just gets dropped down. They were very unaware of where teams were when they got zone. When you get into zone, like you finish the moving zone, you want to just look, like you need to, if you have like good maths and you're just waiting for the next zone, you need to just prioritize knowing where people are around you and above you and below you, and what your threats are. Yo, thanks for making it all the way to the end of the video. If you enjoyed this video and you think you learned a lot from it, I think you'll learn a lot from this video on the screen right now, where I've voted you a viewer of mine. Also, any likes, comments or subscriptions are really appreciated and help a lot more than you think. Plus, you should probably join the community Discord in the link in the description of this video if you want to be involved in any videos or just want to chat and ask me questions. Okay, bye. Use code VUJ.